Join me in this relaxing video to see how I chose to set up my new watercolor palette, what didn't work for me in the old palette, and the color choices in the neighboring of each color and decisions behind it. Would you like to see it? Let's get started. I've prepared my palette here and the colors, and I'm gonna be putting them on now. And I'm not sure if I have enough of everything. Some of them are dry. This is my old palette. This is the plastic palette that I've been using for years. I really like it, but it's just become difficult to use. So the disadvantage of this palette is that the plastic becomes stained after a while. So even if I use my cloth or paper towel and try to wash off the color, it becomes stained a little bit. So it's difficult to change from one color to the next. Like say if I wanted to have yellows here, but I had purples before, it would be hard to change. So once you make a decision, you better know what you want because it's hard to change. Another problem that I was encountering with this palette is the shape of the individual little boxes for the color, and having the sharp 90 degrees corners is really difficult to clean. And this is what happens, see, with overuse. This is where I dip my brush and like through the continuous action of dipping my brush here, the paint usually gets pushed into the corners, and those corners are really difficult to like get out the paint from. So usually I'm not able to fully get it out for painting. And when I clean this and I want to replace it with a different color, so I'm like cleaning this box, there is always just this tiny bit of paint left in the corner. And well, might not be a big problem, but it is a little bit annoying for me. So yeah, you can see every single one. This is the way it happens. So to me, this box isn't really intuitively designed. It wasn't designed for the purpose of using watercolor, because the action of painting already shows us the misfunction of the box, of the palette. So the way I design my palette is remembering what happens here, having that shape, this opening in the oval, smooth form, is actually using my fingers to shape those openings. I am confident that the paint will be really nice to take out from there, and there will be no issues with paint being stuck anywhere, because we have oval shapes versus the sharp angles. Another issue, of course, is the number of individual fields for the different colors. So here I don't have that many. There is actually 24 boxes for paint here. And in my palette, I put 33 openings, so much more. And they are also smaller. So size is another factor. Having a smaller opening versus this huge opening where I need to put a lot of paint, like almost a whole tube goes into this, like half of a tube goes into this. So once I squeeze that half a tube, I'm going to be stuck with this color here for a really, really long time, because it will take me years. I don't paint that much, but like it will take many paintings before you use up the watercolors, because they go a long way. So my idea was to create a smaller opening so that I can just have a little bit of paint, and then when it's used up, I can easily switch the colors if I don't like their, how they're neighboring with other colors, because I can plan a lot of what I think I will like, but in the mix of painting, I will find out what works the best. So those are the decisions that kind of went into designing this palette, and I haven't tested it yet, so this will be the first time I'm using it, but I have made the smaller palettes out of the same clay, and I must say I already like the experience of painting on the smaller, mixing it from the smaller porcelain clay rather than mixing it from the plastic, because the color just behaves differently on the porcelain. It washes away perfectly. So when I'm done with the color, I can wash the clay and remove that wash of color and have a blank slate and just have a beautiful fresh start every time that's not stained like the plastic is stained. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go on to a hyperlapse and record myself putting the colors, and it's gonna be a meditative activity for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. Here is my palette now set up, and I have 2 more spaces that I might find an interesting color someday that I want to fill, and I have one space that I know I need to purchase the intense blue because this is completely empty. So the way I set it up is we're going from, actually I started from reds, and I have the cadmium, rose madder, permanent rose, Azurean crimson hue, quinacridone magenta, permanent mauve, violet Windsor, and then I went into blues from the violet. So it was reds, violets, and then indigo. Here's going to be my intense blue, my ultramarine, cerulean blue, chromium, very, very important paint, iridescent blue, interference blue, silver, Chinese white, which I don't normally use, but I have it, so I wanted to add it just in case I wanted. The turquoise blue, the phthalo turquoise, just this one. And then here's the viridian green. So we're naturally moving from blues now to turquoise, which is between green and blue. And I have like lighter blues here, iridescent in between. And now I'm going into greens. So I have the viridian hue, sap green, and I put yellow lemon hue here, which I have again with the reds there and oranges, because I find it always gets messy from the green or the red. And I think I need it for both, to make the greens and to make my reds and oranges over there. And then continuing, we have the pines gray, burnt umber, and sepia. So those are my dark colors. The pines gray is like almost like black. It's a neutral tint. And I had the neutral tint, which is empty, and I don't think I'm gonna buy it because I feel like Payne's gray is really the same as this neutral tint. When I was painting, I didn't really notice any difference between the two. So I believe one is enough, at least for me. And from those dark browns, we're going to brighter browns, and like the Indian red colors, yellow ochre, and light red. I wish I had them in reverse, but I didn't realize until I did it, and that's okay. And then we're going to yellows. So I have the Indian yellow and the light gold. So Indian yellow is more on the orange spectrum. Light gold, cadmium yellow, and another cadmium yellow, but they're from 2 different companies, 2 different, actually maybe the same company, but it's from a different series. And look how different they are. I mean, they are very similar on the camera, but when I look at them with the naked eye, they really look different. And then again, my lemon yellow, like I mentioned. And here is this beautiful pink color that's called duochrome red purple. And this duochrome red purple is from the Artist's Loft series. So it's a little bit on the cheaper side, but I really love that pink because it has a simmer to it. So when you paint with it on the painting, on the paper, it simmers, and it's just beautiful. So again, here's my setup, and I'll be testing it and I'll see how I like it. But it was really fun to do it. It took much longer than I thought because I had a lot of dried up paints that I had to completely demolish and scratch out. But the beauty of the watercolors is that they never go bad. So even if they are dried up, like this, one of the, I think like it was maybe the purple, one of them just like came out, peeled off completely from the tin, and it was pretty neat. I was able to just insert it and then just add a little bit of water, and I can still use it for many paintings. So that's it for this video of setting up my palette. I am really happy with the colors that I have, and just to show you my previous palette and this one side by side, I can tell that this one is much more happy. It has room for more yellows and reds, where here I actually didn't have, I only had one red, two yellows. So, oops, my orange is leaking. Yeah, that orange had a lot of liquid in it, so it's still drying. Everything else is almost set. And now I'm gonna wait for it to set before I paint with it. But look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any questions about the colors, my choices, I guess I didn't talk much about the choices, why I chose them like this, but it's basically the intuitive way for me to reach for colors. Like I always think about them. Oh, here are my reds, they go into purples, and then blues. Blues go to greens, and then from this side we have the oranges and yellows, which become browns. So I think I will really enjoy this layout of colors, and those are some of the colors that I really like. I have lots of different blues, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different blues. I recommend getting lots of blues and reds. Greens are not as important, but I find that the turquoise is difficult to make. So it's good to have like a nice pre-mixed turquoise and a magenta as well. Some of them are, you can mix a lot of colors, but some of them, if you want to have like a really vibrant quality, it's good to get the tube and just use that. And of course you can't make blue. So all those blues have completely different values and temperature, and the feeling of the color is just so different from one to another that I need all of them. I cannot replicate them by mixing anything else. And yeah, and same thing with the yellows. I have like 3 different yellows. So those are the ones that really work for me. I'm curious if you use the same layout, what colors do you use? Or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.